All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our monthly webinar. This month we're going to be speaking about Hexagon Geospatial and giving you a very good early preview of the new Smart Maps initiative. With me today I have Amanda Donegan, our marketing executive, who is coordinating and making sure everything's working and running fine. And I'm delighted to welcome from Hexagon Geospatial, Juan Fernandez, who is a pre-sales manager with Hexagon Geospatial. So I'm going to ask Juan to introduce himself.
Yes. Hi everyone. I'm João Fernandes. I'm from Lisbon, Portugal. I'm for Hexagon as a pre-sales manager for the EMEA region. And I'm very here to be here today and introduce you on a preview of the Hexagon Smart Maps, our new platform, cloud-based platform for building apps.
Thanks, Ross. So people are just coming online here. So as usual with our webinar, you can, if you have any questions during the webinar, you can post them using the panel on the right-hand side in the WebEx, or the GoToMeeting, but the webinar toolbar, and Amanda will then take those questions and we can use them at the end of the session. So all the other participants are in a read-only mode, listen-only mode. So any questions you want to give us, just type them in and we'll pick them up and go through them at the end of the session. So our plans is to cover about 30 minutes of a presentation and a demonstration. And as we're pretty much on time now, I'll hand over to Juan to go through a presentation and demonstration, and thank him again for making his time available today.
You're welcome, Kieran. So thank you. Let's get started. So the topic today is to introduce you Hexagon Smart Maps. So most of you hopefully are familiar with the Hexagon Geospatial Power Portfolio. It's our suite of products for the complete geospatial life cycle. So we have the producer suite, the provider suite, and the platform suite. The producer suite covering the desktop-related products for collection, processing, analyzing, and understanding the raw data, ultimately delivering usable information to the users. That's the producer suite. The provider allows you to organize the data, generate and stream and delivery services to the users, to other apps, including the apps that we build on the platform suite for both WebGIS and mobile platforms. So this is our Hexagon Power Portfolio. Because we understand the trends of the market and the industry, Hexagon Geospatial has defined the cloud strategy and cloud solutions. Basically, these cloud solutions are founded in three pillars. On the first hand, the cloud delivery of software. So basically, we have extended and took our main products, GeoMedia and Imagine, and allowed them to be delivered through the cloud. So as cloud hosted in a cloud hosted environment. So these products are delivered through the clouds without local installation needs. That's one pillar. The second pillar is the online content hosting service. So basically, you can upload your data to a cloud storage and serve data from there using standard services and streaming services. And the third pillar is we are delivering a cloud-based platform for building and deploying lighter applications, which will be the focus of our presentation today. Just a small comment on the other two pillars. First, the cloud delivery of software, and we will not cover that in detail today. But basically, it's based on a unique technology, cloud paging by Numicent. It basically allows the software to be cloudified. So this technology breaks the product in pages, and it streams the product, the software as needed from the cloud to the user. So it basically runs on the desktop computer and allows you to access the functionality of the product without the need to install and manage all the installation and licensing process. All of that is done on the cloud, but you use it on your and access it from your computer, thanks to this cloud paging technology.
So that means that if a lot of people's concerns, I suppose, around the cloud applications is because they don't want to put their data up in the cloud. But with this technology, you can keep your data local, but still have all the value of having a hosted solution, but not, and all the IT savings and maintenance savings on that side. So you get the best of both worlds, which is very useful for customers who may have data that's too big to put in the cloud, or may have I don't know, security issues with putting their data on the cloud. They can kind of get the best of both worlds. I suppose that's a good value of it, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Thank you for your comments. That's exactly one of the main features of this technology. It basically allows you to take advantage of all the cloud IT related management capabilities. So you have that effort solved, because the software upgrades and updates are all managed by the cloud. But on the other hand, it allows you to use your data locally. So you download the pieces of the software, you run it locally, but you can connect to the data sources that you have on your enterprise. Okay, so that's a unique capability of this cloud delivery of software. Okay, so this is basically one of the pillars of our strategy. The second pillar is in the opposite direction. Is for those customers who really wants to take advantage of cloud storage. So what we are doing is providing online content hosting service. We call that Mapchest. So basically, you can take all your different types of geospatial data types, from imagery, feature data, vector data, point clouds, and even videos collected by UAVs. And you basically can upload this data to the storage, compress the data using our compression ECW technology. Then you can manage, if you are familiar with the Apollo management cataloging capabilities, you can do that in the Mapchest. You can style the data, and then you can serve the data as standard services. And then to be used by our WebGIS, mobile, and other types of apps. So what we are doing is basically we have cloud-enabled the Apollo technology to compress the data and to manage the data, and we are taking advantage also of cloud storage and cloud services from Amazon. In this case, we selected Amazon Web Services to do this. But basically, we are providing this online content hosting service for those customers who really want to store data and to upload data and then serve it as a services, because they don't want to invest in IT in their infrastructure. I have a short video presenting how it looks like. The Mapchest. So basically, it's a web page. It allows you to upload. We upload data sets. In this case, we are uploading some TIFF files. So you upload the data, and then you can compress the data. What we are doing here is to use the ECW compression that is now available as a cloud service. So you compress the data, and then once you have the data there, you can publish the data as a service, and even preview the data using some light preview map viewer. Okay, so this is basically a viewer that is provided with this Mapchest. But of course, you can, because these are standard services, you can connect the apps that you will build on our cloud platform or any other type of desktop application that can use these services to connect to the Mapchest delivered services. Any question here or comment, Kieran, on this?
I suppose one question that just actually come through from one of the panelists, so we can handle it now, is they've asked what kind of security can be provided on the web services you provide. So when the customer puts the data up into the Mapchest, but they may only want to provide that to certain other departments or whatever, can you lock down that data so only certain people can access it, or how does
for sure. Yeah, for sure. For those who are familiar with Apollo, you can definitely define users and groups that can access these services. So that type of functionality will also be available here. So only certain types of users you can perfectly control that on the service level.
Very good. No, I think that's very useful, because again, like I think it provides a quick option for small agencies who may be capturing data and want to get that shared to other organizations. I suppose UAV providers who may not have a big IT infrastructure, but they're capturing data and they want to share that information. It looks to me that this could be very easily used by them to get their information up into the cloud, share it to their end users or customers without actually having to invest in a whole server or infrastructure, IT cost, and all that kind of thing.
Definitely. Okay, so this was our hosting solution. So the third pillar is the cloud platform for building and deploying lighter applications, web and mobile applications. Let's take a closer look. We call this cloud platform the Map portfolio, and the Map portfolio is based on three main components: the Map Foundation, the Map Studio, and the Map Exchange. So the Map Foundation is basically the hosting platform where we are hosting all of these services, and all our core technology, our core geospatial technology, that it has been cloud enabled and modified to make this possible, like the Mapchest that we have seen, but we have changed all our geoprocessing capabilities and other advanced spatial analytics, and make them cloud enabled. So all of this is made available through this Map Foundation. We call it the Map Foundation. Then we have Map Studio. Map Studio is basically a web-based framework for designing, building, and publishing the apps that we are building. So basically, it allows you to connect to the data source, to define the user interface, the contents, and how the app will look like on an easy-to-use web-based user interface. And finally, the Exchange, which is basically the marketplace, the e-commerce store where you can the users can connect to discover, purchase, and use the apps that have been developed with the Map Studio or custom built by the partners. So basically, this is the Map portfolio, our cloud-based platform for delivering these geospatial applications, cloud-based enabled geospatial applications. A very important concept that Hexagon is introducing is the concept of smart maps. Because of our unique capabilities, that we are able to connect to content, and at the same time that we are building these, we are making very relevant partnerships with the major content providers like Airbus or other imagery and vector data sets producers, so that the builders of these apps can connect to this data source when they are building the apps. So our platform will allow you to connect to very useful and really updated data sources. Then we have all the analytical capabilities from both the GeoMedia and the Imagine engines that you're probably familiar with. So with the spatial modeler and all the dynamic analysis capabilities of GeoMedia. So just combining that and making that available to use and to process this content. Also with our unique workflow capabilities that some of you may know from Smart Client, our enterprise workflow, geospatial enabled workflows, Also, we can combine that in the same app building environment. And finally, with a graphic user interface and widgets ready to use, very user-friendly, and all of these makes unique and very powerful environment for building this what we call smart maps. And basically, this is a different approach, and with this we want to change the game in the geospatial industry. Let's take a look at the trailer introducing the technology, and I think you will find it interesting and very self-explanatory.
This is where we don't have or there's usually music playing, but I don't think we didn't think that one through, how we're going to bring the music across. So if you go online on the Hexagon Geospatial website, you get a nice tune to go along with this. But as you can see, we're talking about the map of the future. So I suppose, Joe, this is about, it's about, again, moving away from desktop, you know, the old way of maps being in, of GIS systems being in corners, or, you know, of organizations, just being used by senior technical people now to being a broader take-up of maps, and, you know, being out to the greater audience that everybody can use them and then take advantage of the analytics and the information to get the information they need, how they need it, as opposed to being restricted to the old ways that we had before of applications and heavy clients and things like that. So you can see it's multi-source, so we can take imagery from anywhere and bring that information out and deliver it, and not just the data.
So, as you may have noticed, Hexagon Smart Map that we are previewing today will be made available in November 11th when the user group conference, the Hexagon user group, will take place in Hong Kong. So this is the announced date for launching the platform and make it available to the public and to the partners for start building these apps. So basically, and summarizing Hexagon Smart Maps, it's basically a cloud-based application that delivers dynamic information services. Okay, that they are fresh because they are connecting to up-to-date information service or content providers. They provide answers because they are not raw data. They are processed data. They are analyzing and delivering something that solves a problem, a specific problem. It's portable because they are built to be multi-platform, so both web, mobile, and all type of devices. And finally, they provide an experience that makes sense because we are focusing on user interface and so that and providing tools and widgets that allows partners to build these apps in a very simple and intuitive way, like the one we are seeing below. It's very nice widgets combining with a map that's very interactive and so forth. So what I would like to do now is to connect to the studio environment, so the web-based framework for building these apps, and show you how you can build these smart maps, these type of smart maps. So what I'm doing is I'm connecting to these environments. I've logged in as a user which has so I have accessed the marketplace that I've described. Marketplace allows you where you can find the geomedian line, the Imaginum line, the cloud delivery that I've told you about. So this is like the marketplace where you can access all these hubs. And in my specific user hubs, I have access, in this case, to geomedian line and to Map Studio. Map Studio is also one of these hubs. So I'm now entering Map Studio, and Map Studio will allow me to connect. So this is a list of all my hubs that are registered to my user account. So I can connect to content, different types of content. Here I would be able to connect to Mapchest also. A list of workflows, a list of maps, predefined maps, combining different data sources already. Analytics. So this would be a list of all the the spatial models, and then you can create any kind of these contents. You can connect to a new content. You can create a new workflow, or let's start by creating a new map. Creating apps is based on these wizards concept. So you basically can define how many windows you will have. Let's pick one. So the layout will have just one panel. In this case, let's start with this one. The type of view that you can access. You see all different types: custom panel, geoprocessing panel, a map viewer. Let's start with a simple one, a map viewer. So we give it the name, my map. Once you created the map, now you have to define what content will be there. So you configure the content of the map. So you link to a predefined map. So let's use, for instance, this one, Rotterdam data. Okay, so you could have 2D, 3D maps. So in this case, we just linking to Rotterdam map. Here you would define if it's a 2D or 3D map, if the panel is on the right or on the left, the color schema, also different types of color schemas. So very easy to use and very quick to build this simple map. So the basic app is now ready. We will save, and I will run this. I will find it here on the list, my map, and I will run to see how it looks like. So I have defined one panel. So what I expect is that a full screen with a map of Rotterdam will appear. And this map is combining. This map of Rotterdam is combining basically two layers: an OpenStreetMap background, and that we are seeing, and also a map, an ECW, so a raster image of Rotterdam. So we can play around with the translucency. Okay, here we are. So this is a very basic map: zoom in, zoom out, so all basic, and search enabled. So what I will do now is I will try to add some custom buttons. So to show you how the studio allows you to, besides these pre-configured templates, you can all add your custom code. So I will go to my map and I will customize. So let's customize the map, the environment. So we will basically see a running environment of the app, but with a customized panel that allows you to enter some code directly on a runtime app. So basically, you will be able to access predefined. So here we have the customization panel. Let's load it, and you have predefined samples of code from the community or pre-built in the app that you can select to, or you can go to the community examples. Let's pick this one, change detection tools. So we basically had just double click and the code is added. You can include additional comments if you like, or code if you like, or change it a little bit. In this case, it's not necessary. So we now can run the change code. Let's see how it looks like. This code will add a couple of buttons on top of the zoom in and the zoom out, and to do some specific interaction with the map. And we'll see how it looks like. You see, so now two buttons have been added. In this case, it's the swipe tool. Basically, this tool allows you to swipe the foreground image. In this case, VCW orthophoto on top of the background. You could do this with two different images from different periods, and will allow you to check if there were some changes. So this is an interesting tool. And the other one is
users would be well aware of that swipe functionality. That's a nice thing to do when you're building when you're looking at imagery and things. So that's nice to see that in the browser.
Yeah. So yeah, these are not new tools. These are useful tools that you can quickly enable on your app. That's what I'm trying to show. So this is not nothing special, but the nice thing is that all of these can be custom. You can add it easily to your running app. So very easy to use way to add your custom code to these apps. So let's try something different now. Let's close all these apps, come back to and go back, cancel all of this. So let's try to create a new one, but now with a workflow. So again, we will create one app with one map, and we will try and we will add a workflow here with the map. So instead of selecting a map viewer, we will pick workflow. And we will give this a name. Let's call it potholes management. And now we will have to configure which workflow will be showing up. So let's pick potholes, an existing workflow to simplify. And then to what map is this workflow connecting to? This workflow is connecting to New York, potholes in New York. Let's just wait a little for downloading the preview to make sure we are selecting the right map. I know it's this one, but for you to know which image should show up. Just one more moment. Yeah, this one, potholes in New York, and we save. So basically, we configured a workflow-based app. We connected to the workflow. We said which map is linked to this app. So basically, we save, and now we can run the app, pothole management. So for those who are familiar with Smart Client, we will see this is a typical workflow from Smart Client, Workflow Manager. So basically what this application allows you to do is to submit information about potholes in streets with a map of New York. So what we see here, if we zoom out, it's maybe it's not that visible, but you see that some small dots. All of these are potholes submitted by by users. Okay. So let's so if you click one of those, you can get information, generic information about. Let's try to find one. Okay, so this is a pothole. So let's pick the type of defect. It's a street. Let's pick pothole. There you are. And now we put a street. He's searching for streets with the number 34. We'll pick 1, 2, or 3. This one is fine. And we can put our name. That's fine. Submit. Once submitted, now you see I just added it right here, pothole in this street, and you can see information about pothole and the status it's pending and so forth. So then some other people would receive these requests, would see like pending requests, and see a list of all the potholes, and then we'll do something about it. Other types of users assign it to someone to fix and so forth, and so you have like all of these. This type of app could be then, I have here another example of showing potholes, a different type of viewing. So you basically combine the workflow on the right with a map on the left to build a different kind of app. Let's see how it looks like. So basically you could do the same kind of things we have just seen on the right, but then you could have like an aggregated view of the data on the left. We'll display in a moment. To see aggregated data by district. Let's wait a few more moments for the data to load. Yeah, here we are. So you see the information that we have seen, all the potholes are now aggregated by district, and you can see information about. We can see we have six issues that are pending. 147 closed, 32 have been assigned. You can navigate and see it by months, and the map will adjust accordingly. You can see also by those that are assigned, different type of view, or closed, again another type of view, or you just can pick one district and see and do the same type of search, but by month or by type. So very useful type of apps that you can build, combining workflows and maps with aggregated data and this business intelligence layer on top of that. Let me show you one or two more apps that you can build with this type. Let's try change detection tools. For those who are familiar with, I think it's not this one, change detection tools. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's this one, zonal change detection. So now we see an app with 3 panels. And combining a list of we will see what it looks like, and 2 maps. And these 2 maps are connected to each other and to the data view and for a specific workflow. What we are trying to do in this is the zonal change detection workflow. So basically, a special model has been run on on images from 2 time periods, and to detect a probability of change, and that list is displayed on the left with a probability, and then you will visually confirm if it's really a change or not in your app. One more moment for the data to load. So we now see the data. So as I said, this is the probability of change, so it's a large list. So those who are familiar with Imagine may have seen this type of app also available in the Imagine environment with the tools there. So this can also be built on this as a smart map. So basically, once you click on one of these records, it will. But I was just waiting for the other map to load. Hopefully, it will. Yeah. So it should load also on the top one. But basically, if you as you pick the data record, you will see the image on the record, and the upper image should display the same type of image, but for a different time period. Somehow it didn't show, so never mind. It's not. But it's another type of app you can build. In this case, with 3 panels. One last app I would like to show you is one that integrates some business intelligence widgets. So it's the Milton Zones. Milton Keynes, it's a city in the UK. You probably know better than me. And basically here, this app is analyzing the rate of change from green to gray for different time periods. So it aggregates data again also by region, by district in Milton Keynes, different areas, and analyze the data. And combines data from different time periods. So what we see here is aggregated data for a specific time period, and this is the green. What we are seeing is just the green areas. We can change the map for the gray areas or for the water areas, and all of these charts here updates accordingly with the data that we are seeing. So if I select one region, you can see the number, the amounts, the percentage, to the percentage of the total here on this area, and the comparison, the ratio with both green and gray. So we are seeing water in this case. Okay, so this is a nice way of visualizing data. You can again filter and just select the region for analysis. The same thing here for the zones. If you pick one, you see the values and the legend entries. So it's very unique and very useful widgets to allow you to get insights from the data. And you can build all of these type of apps from within the studio environment. So I basically tried to provide you an overview of the apps you can build with the studio. And this is just another one, an extended version of what we were just seeing, but also with these charts for different types of for different time periods for different time periods. And what we see here is accumulated for each of the regions. So it's another nice way of seeing the data. So we are extending the Studio platform. Adding more of these types of business intelligence widgets and more special analysis algorithms for you to pre-build so that you can use more workflows for you to use. And we believe this is a very powerful platform and will allow us to make the difference in the geospatial industry. So now, Kieran, I'm ready for questions and for comments from the audience.
Okay, thanks, Joa. You can hear me okay, can you?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, that's okay, just make sure. Yeah, we've got a good few questions. I'll start back at the Mapchest. So one of the questions was, how is the Mapchest going to be sold? Is it on top of Apollo? Is it a subscription? Or is it an app on the App Exchange? You know, what is the, I suppose, delivery mechanism for the Mapchest?
All of the information related to the strategy of sales is yet to be announced. Okay, but for now, Mapchest, the current information is Mapchest will be delivered as a subscription service.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, cloud-based
So
subscription
and of
software
course,
there.
subscription service, and of course, depending on the storage amounts that you will use, you will pay. It's a pay-per-use also.
Yes, yeah. Because again, yeah, if you're putting terabytes up,
Yeah.
your charge is going to go up naturally because it's based on Amazon, and there will be inherent costs there as well. Yeah. Okay. What web services does the Mapchest provide the data as? If it's serving data backup, what web services does it support?
I would need to check exactly, but I can tell you that ECWP, okay, WMS, so the standard OGC web services, you can expect them to be available. I'm not sure exactly if in this first version released in November, which ones will be available, but I can bet that ECWP and OGC services, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Back now to the Map Studio. How does the customer's data get into the application, the Map Studio?
Okay. So you will be able to connect to Mapchest, for instance, or upload, connect to content, specific content from data providers. So already two options. So Mapchest, content providers that we have partnerships with, or the user can also upload some data to the studio environment to make it available through Map Studio.
Okay. Yeah, and I suppose that's an administrator task for the app developer. That's the other question. Who sets it up? That would be that's all done through the studio, and that's for the app administrator to manage the data and how they load it up and how they put it up into the studio and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So yes, the studio is a development environment, right?
Yes.
As we've seen, you don't need really hardcore development skills to build these apps. But of course, if you have developers on your team, you can also extend using the standard APIs, extend further the map, the apps that you build with additional functionality that are not available through the studio interface. Okay, and the content itself, it could be managed by someone with that task. It doesn't need to be a developer to do that. He can manage the contents, and then a developer would connect to these data sources.
Yeah.
Once they are linked to the and made available in the studio environment.
Great. There was a question here, why was it so slow to load? I think part of that could be the webinar software, and I suppose...
I'm connecting from home. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And also, I think they're clear to everybody on the webinar. This is this is still in development. It's on a, it's a development server. It's not a production system yet. It's probably not ramped up to be used fully and everything. So you have to take it. This is a preview. It's not a finalized system. So it's gonna. I've seen it better, and I think it's connectivity and issues that we're getting here. But actually, you can see the concepts.
Actually, the developers are waiting for me to finish this webinar to make another change and go back to the development.
Well, we appreciate getting the preview. So another question here: how does this work with the person submitting the app? Sell it in the marketplace. So I suppose this is around the question is around the whole concept of the smart map. I suppose this is kind of an iTunes kind of idea for mapping. Is that how we would describe it, Joa?
Yes, definitely a marketplace for geospatial apps. So you subscribe to a service, an information service, specific to specific type of need, finding the routes or finding the school bus, something like that. So something useful for the users or for professional. Could be the general public, could be professional user, but for a specific problem. And then you subscribe to this information service, which is updatable, which is easy to use, accessible from different devices. And then it's a subscription service.
Yeah,
That you can access from a marketplace, like you access to another type of app.
Yeah, and I suppose there's an opportunity. There's two things here. Like there's end users can get these applications, but there's also this is an opportunity. If people have ideas for applications or apps that they can become developers and become app developers or partners and create these kind of applications and use the framework and build these kind of things. And then there's a like with iTunes or whatever, there's there's a cost that goes to Hexagon, and then there's these guys will get they'll get their apps sold and they'll get a cut themselves. So it's a business opportunity for people as well if they're in that mind space that they can build applications and use this structure to actually get their applications out in the world without having to leave their own office.
Yes, exactly. This the model is a revenue sharing model. So basically, for using the platform and building the apps, there is a share that must go to Hexagon. A share must go to the cloud hosting environment that is below this, and of course a good share also for the partner who built the app and made it and provided context and build the app to the user.
Yeah, no, good. That's exactly, yes. And I think there's one final question here was the studio is the data, the customer's data will be hosted in the Mapchest or in the cloud, in the Hexagon Cloud, and the application or developers don't have to actually provide any kind of infrastructure. It's just a case of connecting in and putting the data up there.
Correct. Correct.
And sorry, I was reading the last question here. This could be a partner. I suppose there's a question around there's the existing applications from Smart Client and Geospatial Portal, and are these being merged together? I suppose these are products that people can use in their own offices, while this application is a cloud-based version, and one isn't superseding the other. It's just giving us alternatives. Isn't that, or how do you see the future of those kind of applications like Smart Client and Geospatial Portal?
Well, we have been very careful and somewhat very careful about that. Our cloud strategy is not will not replace the current portfolio for now. So all of those products, even the desktop. So the same question would apply to the online delivery of GeoMedia and Imagine. You could think that now we will just deliver these products as cloud-based. No, there will be still customers who wants on-premise and desktop or their own server installations. And for those type of customers, you will still need products like WebMap and Geospatial Portal and enterprise solutions built on top of Smart Client. So we are not planning to substitute, to replace those products with the cloud offering. Our cloud offering is an added value to new customers, to new needs of the industry, of the customers and the partners, to the trends that we are following and that we are sensitive to. And so we are trying to address different needs from and go to different markets segments. And we believe this approach will allow us to address those needs.
Yeah, and I suppose as well, what the Smart Map allows you to do is to build applications that are fit for purpose. While some of our other products are heavier, meatier products. In some cases, somebody might just want an answer, or an email to be sent, or a chart on a page, or a very small map just showing some information. So it does allow you to build these smaller applications that can be used as consumer apps, really, that somebody can go online and see for their council, where's the pollution incidents, or they could request an email, a report telling them how many planning applications have come in and which ones are in areas of environmental protection, protected areas or whatever. So it's a new way of thinking of maps as well, taking into account that the consumer can be anybody and they can be using it on any device in any way. But there'll still be a need for the power users to use the enterprise solutions that we have as well. So it's really just moving mapping into the enterprise, into the bigger world, and let everybody use it and take advantage of all the spatial analytics and information.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. So that's all the questions we have at the minute. Just check the list. Yeah, we've covered them all. Amanda's just reminded me this is a preview today of the smart maps, but in Dublin and Belfast on the 22nd and 24th of September, respectively, we're running a Hexagon Geospatial user group, and we'll be showing this functionality in a lot more detail, as well as showing all the latest releases from the Power portfolio and talking about mobile and enterprise and web mapping. So hopefully anyone's attended today can come along and meet us and spend the day with us and have in two nice locations with some nice food and meet your peers and see some of this great technology. And we've a number of the guys coming from Hexagon Geospatial coming over to be there to help us with the day. So you can register online at our website, or you can email Amanda, who would have sent you the invite for this request, but that's aDonegan@imgs.ie. Okay, so I think we're just about out of time. Joe, have you anything else you want to add or any final comments?
No, just it was a pleasure, and looking forward to meet people in the user group.
Okay, yes, of course naturally you'll get the user group as well. Yes. So yeah, looking forward to. Thank you again for taking time out to do this today and give us a preview. As I said, it's not been launched till November, so it was really good. Again, I've been working with G Media and WebMap and doing web mapping for a number of years, and being able to see applications being created in the cloud so easily without coding is just considering where we've come from. I think I'm really excited about that ability to integrate analytics, workflows, and maps together, because it really is where we need to get to. So it is exciting times. So thanks again for you speaking today. Thanks to Amanda for arranging everything. If anybody has any other questions or interest, let us know. We'll have another webinar next month, so I think Amanda will be announcing that later in the month. So please join us again. And yeah, I'd like to wish everybody a good day, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, thank you. Thanks. Bye.
Goodbye.